Let's see what we got here. If Disney called to hire you this case, would you accept? Nope, I would not accept. I would not accept. First of all, I'm also outside of Florida. I'm in Korea, right? So
How much would it take?
they would probably only try to consult with me. Also, I have legitimate conflicts of interest. So like I would think that working with them would actually be a conflict for me. So I wouldn't do it because unlike Disney's special counsel, John McGowan, I actually care about those conflicts of interest. I was shocked, Steve, and because I practice this area of law, and this is a giant no-no. I looked in the bond disclosures, and the fact that he was hired as special counsel for the district, the chief counsel for Walt Disney World Parks.
Oh, no.
Was hired as the special counsel for the district. Lawyer? Yeah, well,
there's a Florida bar issue there. Yeah, I mean, that's a bar complaint. That's a bar complaint. I mean, that's a major problem. That could be very problematic for him.
This is the guy that was certifying in a securities filing, right? So this is a federal securities filing that they were indeed a public entity, right? That Reedy Creek was a public entity, that they were independent, that they were free of Disney control. Think about this. Disney's general counsel is certifying that former Reedy Creek, now Central Florida Tourism District, but back then Reedy Creek, that Reedy Creek and Disney were separate. So it's like, imagine.
But it's like the same counsel?
The same counsel.
Yeah, well, there might be criminal liability.
I'm like, the balls on Disney, but it's only because nobody was checking, nobody was looking.
Well,
right?
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And they've got their government, they've got their big corporation, they're making millions. They've got their whole little fiefdom over there. And over time, it breeds laziness and sloth. And
yes, it does. It does. And you get used to doing it a certain way. And when people say you can't do it that way anymore, you get mad and you throw a tantrum.
Well, can I beat up on Disney a little more? And that is, I have somebody who's a good friend. In fact, you might even know them. Their last name is Bronca, who are big theme park fans. And they have said, because I haven't been to Disney in a long time, except to go to House of Blues to see Ginger. And when they say that they're big theme park people, and that since they've done away with the fast pass system, that the new ticketing system is just a disaster, and that they're having major problems with lines and management of crowds. And so that's, it's arrogance. They're so used to people. And this whole idea of this $10,000 a night Star Wars hotel.
Oh man, which is not even themed after the old. See, here's the thing. Here's the whole thing about Star Wars. If they had just themed that, and even if it was 50-50, if they did 50% new and 50% old, that park would be printing money forever. If instead of this galactic space cruiser, it was, look at it, stay on the Death Star.
Right.
There would be people lining up everywhere. But Kathleen Kennedy convinced them, no, we need it all to be new themed because this is the future and everything else is dead.
The Jar Jar Big Suite. That's the David does. Jar Jar.
Yeah, it was a joke. It was an absolute joke. That could have printed money forever. People were dedicated to that. There's still people that are huge Star Wars fans, right? Even I would say this fandom menace, shout out to like the Echo Base Network, even like people like Doomcock and stuff like that, like him or hate him or however you feel about them. The fact that they still talk about Disney, even in a hating way, hating on Star Wars or whatever else, geeks and gamers, all those other people, good friends of mine, by the way, all of them. The fact that they talk about Disney means there's still an interest in market in Disney. There's an interest in market in doing it right, doing it correctly. And all they have to do is give up on their woke ideology that says, the old is evil and toxic and patriarchal, and only the new is good. All they have to do is sacrifice that, and they won't do it for money. Which to me,
see over here, see this shelf, the bottom shelf of. See, these are all DVD racks. That entire bottom shelf of this DVD rack, that's that whole. That must be 30. Is all Disney movies, like from the golden era: Fantasia, Dumbo, Cinderella, Pinocchio, all lined up there. I've got Song of the South.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
Which, by
it's
the
like,
way, I see no problem with Song of the South. I'll say it. I say
I loved it when I was
no.
a kid. I loved it, you know. And I mean, it's the Rescuers and Aristocats, and I mean, there was so much great stuff. It's like your audience is families, children, mom and dad, or just mom bringing their child to see wonder and looking through their eyes and seeing the wonder of Disney. And you're going to shovel this like woke nonsense at them? It's they do not know their market.
Once again, you know, I don't care about the woke nonsense. You know, I care about the woke nonsense. Sorry, I care about the woke nonsense personally, right? And we can argue about that all day. And I go on other channels talking about this all day and how this is the death of Disney and everything else from a larger standpoint. And it's definitely from a long-term standpoint, right? Not only does the U.S. not want this, but other countries don't want this.
Right.
Other countries, when they see Disney going woke, they're like, what the hell are you talking about? We love, you know, men. We love fairy tales. We love the originals. What are you doing? Who is this person? This isn't The Little Mermaid.
Lion
right?
King, Beauty and the Beast. They had a golden era there too.
Yeah.
It's like, what are they doing? What was the last good Disney movie?
It's been a while. It's been a while. You could argue
because they've been captured by this left, and they don't care about their customers. They're trying to take this entity and push their ideology. Stay away from it. I don't even care if it's like it doesn't agree with me. You know, don't agree with anybody. Just tell a good story. Entertain the kids.
Entertain the kids. Just tell a good story. That's why Super Mario did well. And look, to be honest, I had a lot of complaints. I just saw Super Mario in a private box in Korea. It was fantastic. One of my best movie experiences of my life. But just because of the private box, I had like a private couch. It was like, you know, just me. And I got to watch the movie from like right in front, but below everybody. So I couldn't see anybody. It was like it was a private screening on an IMAX screen. But the story had some holes, let's say. It could be very, very, very much improved. But it still made $1 billion because it wasn't woke. It didn't preach anything, and it was just a movie, right? All you've got to do is just make movies. Just make them. Make the story okay. All right, let's read through some of these super chats. Debbie O says, worked in Tampa DRI bond issue law practice back in the 90s. There we go. You know about it. Have loved listening to your takes on the Disney suits and related law. People do not get the specificity of these laws, the sunshine aspects, etc. You do. Yes, thank you so much. When you're talking about revenue bonds, general obligation bonds, there's very specific state common law on those. In fact, it's actually part of our bar exam. Most people don't study it because they do an analysis. They're like, okay, the probability of a bond issue coming up is like 2%. So I can just take the hit on these couple questions or maybe on this essay prompt and I'll still be fine, right? Like I'll complete it. It'll be like a side issue and it'll be fine. Yeah, but it's a big deal. That's why they hire specific lawyers like me to do that. Also, sunshine law, very strong in Florida. The reason why we get the Florida man stories is because of our sunshine law and the fact that we release mugshots. And at least in Orlando, I don't know if this is in Volusia. Tell me if this is
everybody. Yeah, it's open records. I mean, we have
they just send it. They don't even wait. They just send it to the media. They don't have to request it because it gets annoying. They just go ahead and release it to the Sentinel. That's how they do it in Orlando.
Well, we got a big problem because they released juvie bug shots, and we're like, wait a second. We're representing the juvies, and it's like, here they are. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous, but yeah, we're very liberal with that. And that's why we have televised trials. We get Florida man, and people say, well, Florida's crazy. It is crazy, but we also get the attention because it's so accessible to the media.
Yes, exactly. And by the way, guys, speaking of open trials, and obviously I will stream the trial as much as I can. If I can go to it, the state court trial, I will do that. But we'll need to see things as they progress in state.
The Disney trial?
The Disney trial, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm targeting, I don't know what my future, I'm going to find out this week what the next like